We were four friends, me, Tyler, Adam, Kayla, and Jess, out for what was supposed to be a peaceful weekend camping trip in the high desert of northern Arizona. The spot we picked was far from any trail, remote enough that even locals said it was untouched land. We weren't looking for trouble, just some isolation, stars, and good memories. Adam and I had been best friends since college, and Kayla was his girlfriend. Jess was Kayla's cousin, kind of the wild card of the group. She was the type who would dive headfirst into anything. I think that's part of why we invited her. She brought energy to everything. We set up camp early Friday afternoon. A couple of tents, a fire ring made from old stones, and a cooler full of beer and snacks. We were a good 6 miles from the nearest dirt road. No signal. No traffic. No people. Just us and the desert. The first night was perfect. We sat around the fire, told stories, roasted marshmallows. Kayla played a little music from a Bluetooth speaker until the battery died. After that, it was just the crackle of flames and the soft hum of wind sweeping across the open land. I remember looking up at the sky and seeing more stars than I'd ever seen in my life. Like someone had spilled salt across black velvet. Around 11 p.m., we turned in. I shared a tent with Adam. Kayla and Jess were in theirs a few feet away. The night was still, until I woke up around 3 a.m. At first, I didn't know why. Just that sense that something had changed. I lay there, eyes open, waiting. Listening. Then I heard it. Whispering. Faint. From outside. Adam. Adam. I turned to see if Adam was awake. He wasn't. His breathing was deep and even. I sat up slowly, unzipped the tent just enough to peek out. Nothing. The fire was dead, just glowing embers. The moon hung low, pale and full. Then I heard it again. Adam, come out here. Same voice. Same tone. But here's the thing. It wasn't someone calling him. It was me. It was my voice. I froze. Then the whisper came again, just a little louder. Clearer. Adam, I need your help. I zipped the tent shut and shook Adam awake. Dude, wake up. Someone's out there. He groaned. What time is it? 3, maybe 4. I heard someone. They were calling you, using my voice. That got his attention. We both got up, unzipped the tent, and stepped outside. Still nothing. Still silence. But now Adam looked shaken. You sure it was your voice? I'm sure. We checked around the site with our flashlights. Everything looked normal. No footprints. No animals. Just the quiet rustling of brush in the distance. Adam tried to laugh it off. Maybe you were dreaming. I wasn't. We went back to bed, but I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling of the tent until the sky started turning gray. Day 2 was uneventful. We hiked out to a canyon ridge, took pictures, ate trail mix, and made jokes about the desert being haunted. Kayla rolled her eyes. Day 2 was uneventful. We hiked out to a canyon ridge, took pictures, ate trail mix, and made jokes about the desert being haunted. Kayla rolled her eyes at us. Jess was more interested though. You ever heard of skinwalkers? She asked casually while we walked. Adam scoffed. That Navajo stuff? Cursed witches and all that? Jess nodded. It's not just curses. It's about people who can turn into animals. Or worse, mimic voices. They say once you hear your name whispered in the dark, you're marked. I glanced at her. Where'd you hear that? She smiled. A friend of mine lives near Shiprock. Swears they saw one once. Said it sounded like their mom calling them into the woods at night. Their mom had died 2 years earlier. We all went quiet for a bit after that. That night, we lit a big fire. No one admitted they were spooked, but the flames were bigger than necessary, and we stayed up later than usual. Jess told ghost stories. Real ones, she claimed. There's an old story, she began, her face lit by the flickering firelight. About a camper who went missing in these parts. Found his boots neatly placed at the edge of a cliff, No sign of a struggle. Just gone. Kayla shook her head. Why would you even tell that right now? Jess shrugged. Too quiet out here. Gotta fill the silence. Around midnight, we started heading to our tents. I was halfway zipped in when I heard it again. Adam. Soft. Closer. Adam heard it too this time. He stood frozen. We looked at each other. Then we heard it again. From the trees. Adam, help me, it's Tyler. I'm hurt. But I was standing right next to him. Adam's face went pale. I stepped forward, flashlight aimed into the trees. Who's there? No answer. Then Jess screamed. We ran to her tent. She was gone. The tent flap was open, the inside torn. Her sleeping bag was half out, dragged across the ground. We followed the dragged marks into the trees. Kayla was sobbing. Adam had his knife drawn. After maybe 100 feet, we found her. Standing still. Back to us. Her hair was messy. Her skin looked pale in the flashlight beam. Jess? I called. She turned slowly. Her face was off. Her smile was too wide. Her eyes didn't blink. I heard something calling me, she said. Her voice sounded flat, like she was reading a line. Then she said, It said it missed you, Adam. We didn't speak. We just backed up. She didn't follow. Just stood there, smiling. When we reached the camp again, she was gone. We didn't sleep. At dawn, we packed everything we could carry and left everything else. On the way back, we kept hearing things, twigs snapping, voices that sounded like Jess. Guys? Wait up. I think I'm lost. Please don't leave me. We didn't stop. When we finally got to the car, Kayla collapsed into the back seat and cried. We drove in silence for nearly an hour. When we got signal again, Adam called 911. They searched for Jess. Never found her. The official report says she got re-entered. Lost. Fell somewhere out of reach. But we know what we saw. Adam still gets phone calls sometimes. From blocked numbers. When he answers, there's only silence. Then, a whisper. Come back. Sometimes it's Jess's voice. Sometimes it's mine. And once, he swears it was his own. We never went camping again. But sometimes, late at night, when I can't sleep, I hear it too. Calling my name. Whispering. Tyler, come outside. Story 2. They say the forest changes after dark. That's why people used to build their homes with walls thicker than necessary, their windows small, and their fire pits close. You don't want the night creeping in. You don't want it remembering you. My name's Eli, and I'm writing this now because I need it out of my head. Maybe if I share it, the whispering will stop. Maybe someone out there will understand. Maybe someone's heard it too. It was me, Theo, Marcus, and Lila, my sister. We were celebrating the end of senior year. One last trip together before we split up to college, trade schools, life. Theo borrowed his uncle's beat-up 4Runner, and we loaded it up with cheap gear and big plans. We drove 6 hours out to a stretch of national forest in northern Idaho, where pine trees went on forever and cell service didn't exist. Lila found the spot. She was always the planner. It was deep in the woods, next to a narrow creek. No other campers. No sounds of planes overhead. Just wind and trees and our own voices. The first day was perfect. We hiked a bit, swam in the creek, roasted hot dogs over the fire. We talked about stupid stuff, high school crushes, embarrassing gym class stories, things we never told anyone before. That kind of night. The kind you miss before it's even over. We were still sitting around the fire when Marcus brought up something weird. You guys ever hear of the Whistler? He asked. The what? Lila looked up from her marshmallow. It's this old local legend, Marcus said. Out here in the woods. They say there's something that whistles to lure people away from camp. It'll sound like your mom. Or a friend. Or even you. Theo rolled his eyes. What, like a forest ghost? No, more like a mimic. Something that watches and learns. And when it's ready, it uses your voice to lead you into the trees. Charming, Lila muttered. Wanna hear something freaky? Marcus leaned in. My cousin went camping out near Priest Lake. Woke up in the middle of the night to someone whistling outside her tent. Then she heard her brother's voice. He'd died 2 years earlier. She packed up and left that night. Never talked about it again. We laughed it off, but I noticed Theo throwing an extra log on the fire before bed. The first night, I woke up to the sound of twigs snapping outside our tent. I thought it was a deer. Maybe a raccoon. Nothing unusual. Then I heard my own voice. Eli, hey, come out here. I sat up. Theo was still snoring next to me. Eli, it's okay. I just need help with something. My blood went cold. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. That voice was mine. But it wasn't. It was flat. Hollow. Like it came through a bad speaker. Eli. I shook Theo. Wake up. There's someone outside. He groaned and rubbed his face. Dude, what? The voice came again. This time, closer. Eli, it's me. Don't be scared. Theo froze. We locked eyes. He'd heard it too. We unzipped the tent and stepped out. The fire had died down to glowing coals. The trees loomed like silent watchers. There was no one there. We checked the others. Marcus and Lila were still asleep. Let's not say anything, Theo whispered. Could have been a dream. Sure, I lied. The next day, Lila seemed off. Quiet. Distracted. While the guys went to gather firewood, I asked her what was wrong. She hesitated, then said, I thought I heard Mom's voice last night. Our mom died of cancer 2 years ago. Peacefully at home. Lila continued. She said she missed me. That she wanted me to follow her. A chill ran through me. Did you? She shook her head. No. But I wanted to. I told her what I'd heard. We agreed to leave the next morning. No arguments. That night things got worse. The fire was bigger. None of us said it aloud, but we didn't want it going out. We kept it blazing. Around midnight we started hearing things. First, laughter, Lila's laughter, but warped. Like a recording played too slow. Then Marcus heard someone crying out in the woods. It sounded like my little sister, he said. But she's at home. She's 8. Theo paced the campsite, flashlight in hand. We leave at first light. Everyone stays in their tents. No matter what. We agreed. I lay awake, every muscle tense. The fire cast faint flickers on the tent walls. Then I heard it. Eli. My voice again. Only now it was joined by others. Lila, come outside. Marcus, we're lost. Help us. Theo, it's me. The voices came from every direction. Outside, the forest moved. Not wind. Not animals. Something else. I looked over and saw Theo wide awake, staring at the ceiling. We didn't speak. Around 3 a.m., we heard Lila unzip her tent. Lila! I hissed. No response. I scrambled out, flashlight ready. She was barefoot, walking slowly toward the trees. Lila, stop! She paused. Turned. Her face was blank. Eyes distant. They're calling me, she said. Mom's out there. I grabbed her arm. It's not her. Come back. She resisted. Harder than she should have. Then she screamed, sharp, animalistic. Theo tackled her, and together we dragged her back to the tent. She thrashed and cried, but eventually went still. We didn't sleep. Just sat huddled around the fire till the sky turned pale. We left everything. Just took our keys, phones, and ran. Back at the car, no one spoke. Marcus drove, eyes wide and unblinking. When we reached town, we looked at each other and knew. We couldn't explain it. No one would believe us. Lila's been quiet ever since. She doesn't talk about that night. But sometimes, when she's half asleep, I hear her whisper, "Don't follow it. It's not her." Theo moved to the city. Says he doesn't camp anymore. Marcus stopped answering my calls. As for me, I hear it sometimes. When I'm alone. When I think I'm safe. A soft voice, just outside the window. "Eli, let me in." Story 3. They warned us not to go past the old quarry. Not the locals, not directly, but in that quiet, lingering way people avoid speaking of certain places. Like the woods had ears, and memory. My name is Callie, and if you're reading this, I want you to understand something up front. What we saw out there wasn't a dream or a hallucination. It wasn't just a scary story to share around a campfire. It followed us. And it remembers. There were 4 of us, me, Jonah, Lex, and Gabe. Best friends since middle school. We were heading to the Bitterroot Mountains in western Montana for what was supposed to be our annual camping trip. Off-grid, no phones, just tents, a fire, and the sound of wind in the trees. Jonah, the self-proclaimed trailmaster, had found this place online, an abandoned mining camp nestled in a pocket of forest that hadn't seen much foot traffic in decades. The kind of spot with no official trails, no campsites, just raw, sprawling wilderness. "It's perfect," Jonah said, punching coordinates into his GPS. "Total isolation. Perfect for getting eaten by a bear," Lex muttered. "Or skinwalkers," Gabe added with a grin. We laughed, but not too hard. Montana forests are old. They're silent in ways that make your skin crawl, even during the day. We arrived at dusk. The dirt path to the old camp was narrow, barely wide enough for the truck. The trees leaned in like they'd been waiting for us. The remnants of the mining camp were eerie, half-collapsed wooden structures, rusted tools scattered around. We pitched our tents near a half-rotted cabin and got a fire going. That first night was mostly normal. We drank, roasted sausages, told dumb stories. But the woods were quiet. Unnaturally so. No crickets. No owls. Just wind, and once, what sounded like whispering from somewhere up the ridge. "Did you hear that?" I asked. Jonah looked up from his cup. "What?" "Like talking. But distant." Lex stood, scanning the dark with his flashlight. "Probably the wind. This place echoes weird." We let it go. We were tired. The fire had burned low. That night, I woke to the sound of crunching footsteps just outside our tent. It was slow, deliberate. Not animal fast. Not bird-like. I held my breath. A shadow moved past the fabric of our tent. Tall. Wrong. The silhouette bent in ways a person shouldn't. Then it spoke. "Callie, come out." I froze. The voice was mine. Identical, but hollow. Like it came from inside a well. "Callie, I need help. Come out here." I reached for Lex, sleeping next to me. "Wake up," I whispered, shaking his shoulder. He stirred. "What?" "Shh, someone's outside." Using my voice. He stiffened immediately. We listened. The voice came again, louder. "Callie, it's safe. Come see." Lex sat up, flashlight already in hand. He mouthed, "Don't move." We waited. The steps moved away. Slowly. The next morning, we found deep footprints circling all 3 tents. Too big to be mine. Barefoot. Toes splayed. Gabe was pale. He didn't sleep at all. He said he'd seen something, too. "It crouched near the fire pit," he said, shaking. "Just watching. Then it stood and walked into the woods. It looked like you, Callie. But the face, it wasn't right." We packed quickly. Jonah was rattled but tried to keep us together. "We're just spooked. Sleep deprived. We'll head out in the morning. No need to panic." We agreed. But we shouldn't have stayed another night. That evening, we avoided the fire. Just sat inside the half-ruined cabin, flashlights pointed outward. Even speaking felt dangerous. Around midnight we heard it again. Voices. From the woods. Lex. Gabe, come here. Then it got worse. Jonah, help me. I fell. I need you. It was my voice again. Then Lex's. Then Jonah's. Sometimes, all at once. And then, singing. A low, cracked humming. The tune was almost familiar, like a childhood lullaby. Jonah snapped. He grabbed the axe and stormed out of the cabin. This is Bull's **** T. Show yourself! Jonah, get back here! Gabe yelled. We chased after him, flashlights slicing through the trees. And then we heard it. I found it, Jonah's voice said. It's beautiful. Come look. Only Jonah was standing beside me, frozen. That's not me, he whispered. Then silence. The woods swallowed the voice. We didn't sleep. We sat in a tight circle, weapons in hand, until first light. We hiked out at dawn. Fast. Not speaking. As we walked, the forest changed. The trees looked rearranged. Older. The trail markers were gone. We walked in circles for hours. Our compass spun. GPS showed blank. Eventually, we saw a ridge and climbed it. Beyond it, the truck. Parked. Untouched. We ran. We didn't talk on the way home. We just drove. That was 6 months ago. Gabe left town. No forwarding address. Lex checks in sometimes but refuses to speak about what happened. Jonah doesn't leave his house anymore. Says he sees things at night, shapes through the blinds. He's boarded up the windows. And me? Every so often I hear it. In my apartment. In the quiet. A voice I know. Callie. I found it again. Come see. I don't answer. But I'm not sure how much longer I can resist. Because the thing is, it still sounds just like me. And it's learning how to smile.